Welcome back, everybody, to another, what we're assuming, or at least what we know, is going to be another great episode of Gaming After Work. Today, you got Billy and myself. Got some things to talk about. We got some Apex stuff, Call of Duty stuff, all the way down to the PS5 controllers, back to our Twitter questions and a game review. So, with that being said, let's pass it over to Billy to let us know what's going on in the Apex world. Billy, what's going on?
Oh, there is so much between just the new event that got launched this week of, what is it? What week is it? We're on April 9th now. Earlier this week on the 7th,
Yes.
we got it launched. It is a solid, like, Apex doesn't release, like, huge, like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing events, but they're just little mix-ups. So this event is about one of, I would say, my third favorite character in the game, Bloodhound. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that. Yeah, I believe that's the one that can. He has the special ability to like track people, right?
Yeah, so like his
Yeah.
passive is you can like see footprints for so
Yeah,
much time.
he's the one that's got that cool ass hat on.
Yeah, the cool ass hat.
Yeah.
So it's about like his background, like where he got the name, like Bloodhounder and all that type of cool shit. His cool
Yeah.
heirloom axe, stuff like that. Then they added a new place on the map of the World's Edge map. It's called the Trials. I think it says actually Trials, no the in front of it. But no, you go into the mountain, and there's 3 trials that you activate, and they send out prowlers, which are like, I would say, their type of mutated dogs that are,
Yep.
they're pretty sizable. And then you just kind of do waves of that. I actually personally haven't got to do the trials yet because every time I get close to it, there's like 30 fucking teams there,
Yeah.
and it's just a bloodbath,
Yeah.
and it's not fun.
So everybody's going there.
Everyone's going there, but you can definitely find some videos online about the trials because I've heard like you actually fight like clones of Bloodhound or some shit like that, but that could just be a troll. But there's other little trials in there. But then after you beat it, you get dope rewards. I think it's a guaranteed purple shield or a gold shield. I think it's either both. I think it's both. So you get some pretty damn good loot for doing this trial, which I would say is worth because, you know, you're playing against other teams and you should get good loot for doing a task that they could just jump on you and just screw you over. So,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
then
the
continue.
reward has to be worth what you're doing, right?
For sure. I think it is. Like I said, I haven't got to try it, so hopefully, probably not tonight because I'm too busy playing Minecraft right now. But tomorrow I'll be getting in there and getting that trial done. But also with this new event, they released a nice patch to the game. They buffed the newest character, Revenant, which when launched was very mediocre. His silence didn't do shit. His ulti is basically baiting your teammates. And then now they buffed him, so now he's actually worthwhile to use, I think. He's not perfect.
Yep.
He's much better than he was before. So I actually will play him a little bit more. And then a little bit more Apex news, but not like confirmed news. But devs on Twitter are saying Apex is going anywhere time soon. Like they are here to stay for at least they said they have season 6, season 7, season 8 almost finished and many more planned already. Like their train is just going and going, which I'm excited for cuz in their direct words, they say they're pushing updates that we the people want. Like we the players would like actually want. So I'm guessing like certain characters are going to come, certain things are going to be like they're already changing the loot in game, like so it's not like too potent, so it's just not like, oh, everyone has purple shields. You know, it's actually like diverse and stuff like that. And just a little side note, they added duos in this patch, and it is the greatest godsend to this game has ever been. Like, you have no idea. It is so nice as a solo player. Just hop in there, and you know when you're fighting a team, it's only going to be 2 players, not that other third player. So that's the Apex news. There's also a lot other things just going constantly on Twitter. So if you're ever wanting to know about more Apex, just follow their Twitter, their leaked news feed Twitter. It's pretty juicy. Next topic of gaming news that I have of the 4 coming in is Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is making big waves again, pun intended. It's coming to Steam, which is going to bring I think it's going to make the player base a little bit bigger, just because Steam, I feel, is more accessible than going to the Microsoft Store. But at the same time, I wonder if it's still going to be cross-play to Xbox if you download it only on Steam.
So so you're saying it might not be like if you have something already on Microsoft, it might not transfer to Steam. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
so they haven't gave us the big ish on it. They said, "Oh, see these come to Steam." And the big gripe right now is "Hey, I have X amount of hours played. Is all my shit gonna transfer over?" People are saying yes. People are saying no. I think it would be the biggest fall if they said no. That'd be awful. Because people have hundreds of hours, money spent into the game because they actually did now in-game currency for cosmetics, which people obviously want. So I think, but I'm just worried about the crossplay because I don't know if it's gonna be crossplay still, or it might not be. I don't know. There'll be more details probably coming out, and obviously I will let you know about that one. And more on Sea of Thieves. We have a giant, massive update coming out April 22nd. They're at a new faction, a new PvP faction actually, called Reaper's Bones. So I'm guessing you're probably going to have to go fight people in the arena, which they are revamping the arena. So it's going to probably be new islands, new spawns, stuff like that. And the best thing I think they're going to add new pets. They're going to add cats, and I think raccoons.
And those will go on the boat with you and
Yeah.
off the boat with you?
Yep. So they'll mess around with you, so it's going to be pretty cool. And they're going to just do some other updates like add better crew reviving, add increased reps, stuff like that. So just a little life changes for Sea of Thieves. So Sea of Thieves might be popping on the Twitch directory again. Maybe, we don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they're trying to keep that game alive as much as they can, for sure.
Dude, the easiest way to keep it alive: add NPCs everywhere. Grab this open world bullshit and give us an MMO. People would play it so much more. Alright, but on my next couple games, we got the new game, the new-ish that everyone and their mother is talking about right now, Valorant. I'm excited for it. Sam, have you watched any gameplay? I know you don't have a PC, but have you watched any gameplay of it?
I have not yet.
Okay, so here's a rundown right now. Everyone, majority of every major content streamer has a key.
Yep. Well, yeah, because I know right now it's closed beta, right?
Yep, closed beta. You have to get access. You have to watch. So they say you have to watch at least 2 hours of a streamer that has codes enabled to even be entered in to be able to get a drop, which I think only each streamer gets I would say 10 to 15 drops per stream, which is, I think the longest stream I've seen was 11 hours before because they stopped dropping the keys after so much time, just because obviously they don't want people sitting in a stream for 24 hours and just getting keys and then the server blows up and it doesn't work. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's on the rough part about the closed beta right now. People were saying people couldn't get in, shit like that, but that's just comes and goes with betas, closed betas and stuff. You're gonna get a bunch of people trying to get in at once, and you're gonna clog it up, and it's not gonna go well. But after that, what I've seen and what I've been watching, there's highs and there's lows. A lot of streamers are liking it because it's a fresh take on the tactical shooter. Like your CS:GO players are like, oh, it's a nice little revamp of me, opping some kid in CS:GO. Um, so there's that. Anything else you got on Valorant? I gotta think like one
Um,
more thing.
not right now. No, I don't. I
Gotcha.
don't really know pretty much except for what you guys have been telling me.
Okay.
Cause
One more thing
yeah,
that I heard on a stream. I don't know the exact numbers, but right now, if you get access to the closed beta, when you buy something, you will get your money back when the game fully releases, and I think 20% more. But I'm gonna guess it's gonna be in-game currency they're gonna give it back in, because there's no way they're gonna give you your money back plus extra.
yeah,
So I think they're going to give you in-game currency, which is still a plus. So if you buy something now, you're going to get back. So it's kind of a win in that situation.
yeah. It's like they're letting people invest. So
Yeah.
you put money into it now, you're gonna get paid later, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, one more thing that popped in my head that completely spaced me. So they have leaked a new character, but they actually put her in the game now. Raise, one of the two. I don't know how to
Yeah,
exactly say her name. But
yeah,
so every character in the game right now, their abilities are like your utility, like your smokes, your stuns, your drones to see around corners, your other just all stuff to help your team win the match. But she comes in here and she's like, nope, fuck you. I'm gonna blow you up here, blow you up
yeah.
there. All her abilities are just blow shit up. And streamers are upset because they're like, if this continues to happen, you're gonna ruin your game immediately. And I'm 100% agree. Like, you want a utility-based character on everybody, then cool. Don't release
Yeah.
someone that's gonna just blow me up from across map without me knowing.
It sounds like if there was a meta, this character is blowing it up.
Oh yeah,
Is what
no,
it sounds.
for sure. And then on my last piece of gaming news, Call of Duty has released their Season 3 update.
Yeah.
Just standard run-of-the-mill update. Gives you some new stuff, new maps, new guns to chase after that are free, so you don't actually have to buy the Battle Pass. They're just at certain tiers. I heard the new pistol has a 3-burst round and is going to probably be the new go-to sidearm pistol to have and run around with.
Hmm.
So that's going to be cool. They've also added quads for this season,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
from what you told me and what all my friends are telling me, quads is ass. Too many people to worry about shooting at you. Threes was enough for Warzone, and now it's
Fucking
just,
nonsense.
it's
Straight up nonsense.
like I got home from work and my buddies were like, yeah, we just smoked the game, and I don't think we stopped like fighting, and I'm like, that just sounds awful. Like, it sounds great, but like also sounds like stressful. It's like,
Yeah.
constant fighting because there's just so many people.
Hmm.
I think personally, duos in any BR is probably gonna be your best approach, because you can have a duo go in there and you can have like a solid like chemistry between you and your partner, and you can just mop the floor with people, and it's not overwhelming. So you can actually go into a building by yourself in 1v2 potentially.
Yep.
So it gives you a little bit of outplay, so you guys can actually like develop different strategies instead of like, okay, person 1 takes this side, person 2 takes this side, person 3 takes this side, person 4 takes the last side. Shit like that. I just think that's way too complicated.
Yeah, and it sucks that if you don't have a full, it's basically two duos
Suicide.
teams trying to play together. Well, it's that two duos teams trying to play together, and you have you're going this way, and you got the other guy is going to the hospital, and you're going to the graveyard, and you're like, okay,
Mhm.
like how's this supposed to help anybody out? You
Yeah,
know,
no, for sure.
it doesn't.
It doesn't work. And just like actually right before we started recording today, my buddies, they had 3 of them, and they wanted to play Warzone, but they're like, do we really want to play with only 3 and have one rando ruin our games and go down and just leave, or take our loot and blah blah blah?
Yeah.
So it's just
No,
like
that.
they did it good this season, but they also I think quads is just too much. Hopefully next season they just do duos and they stick with duos and add like duos and trios. I feel like that's just fine. So if you have an extra person that wants to play, trios. If it's just a couple people, duos.
Yep.
Boom, bap.
Yeah, because quads and solos right now are the worst
Yo, we didn't
to
even
play.
I haven't even
The
mentioned
worst to play.
solos.
Yeah.
Solos, what I've
So.
heard is just a camp fest. Like you literally get your guns and you just wait. And as soon as someone
Yep.
makes a move to rotate, you just body them. Boom, get their money, go get your loadout, and then you just sit. Which they did tune the money system. I think it's just the loadout, so loadout costs a little bit more money. But still, people can just sit there and it's just gonna be a camp fest and it's gonna be not fun.
Yeah.
Alright, Sam. What do you got for me today?
So the next thing that we got is so Sony, you know, was like, hey, let's show everybody what the controller looks like for the PS5. Everyone was like, okay, what
Okay.
do you got? And in my opinion, I think it looks awful. I think it looks god awful. I think it looks like a poor attempt at a Xbox controller. And I do not like the design of it. I think it looks clunky and terrible. And I think whoever was like, yeah, let's put this design together. I think they did it in like 8 hours.
Um,
I think I don't like it. I think it's ugly.
I'm actually in like the middle. I think it does look odd, but the design doesn't really bother me too well. As long as it feels good in my hands, I could care less what the controller actually looks like. Um, we just probably won't ever really beat the Xbox 360 controller design. Personally, I think that was like the best controller design out to
Yeah.
date. PS4 controllers were nice. They were in the mid-size, so they weren't too big. They weren't too small. I couldn't get used to the Xbox One controllers. They just felt the like the handles where my palms kind of like sit. That just felt too thin, and my hands just I don't know, weird. But I'm gonna give it an attempt, obviously, because I'm more of a Sony boy at heart. So I'll probably get a PS5 and play with the controller, but I don't know how much backlash they have been getting on it, so I don't know if they're actually gonna like change the controller design, which I don't think they really can this far into production. So I think this is the actual controller we get, and I don't think we're gonna get any other variations
Yeah.
anytime soon.
I just don't understand. The center button on the PS4 was already big enough. Why did you need a bigger one? At least that's what it looks like. It looks like that center button is fucking huge. And there was games that rarely ever used that center button at all. And if it did, you were like,
Yeah.
what was your reason for that? I don't think anybody knew. I didn't even know.
I don't know. I'm looking at designs.
So
I'm looking at the designs from the side.
yeah,
It looks good from the side. Just the front angle looks. I don't know. There's a bunch of memes going on about it. It looks like the old school stormtrooper helmets from like movie 4.
yeah,
Like those like white giant domes on their heads. Oh, that was hilarious. I saw that. We'll see how it plays out. They might, like I said, they might change their design, but I don't think anytime soon we're getting a new controller.
no, you're right.
What else?
But
What else are you gonna feed me tonight?
we actually have a game review. So Resident Evil 3, the remake came out,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what? I'm very disappointed.
Why? How so?
So you only get, okay, let me be more specific. I completed the game on normal, not easy, not hard, normal, in 5 hours and 51 minutes. Completed the game to its entirety.
Damn.
Now, the PlayStation 1 version was short, yes, but they did cut out a few key they cut out a few key parts in the game. So like there's a clock tower part that they missed. There was a it's like a worm. It's like a worm boss battle kind of thing. I don't
Mhm.
remember the actual name of it, but they cut that out, which that was a pretty cool fight to have. Um, what else did they cut out? There was a couple of things. Oh, um, the one thing I brought up beforehand, the character design change wasn't too bad. I mean, Jill got changed for the most part from her costume perspective. Um, Carlos got changed, like his overall design change. So like in this game, he has like long hair, where before he had short hair because he was more of like a military guy, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Mhm.
And this time he's got as much hair as I do. Like this dude has a full head of like Troy Polamalu Head and Shoulder. Like he should be in a Head and Shoulders commercial. Like that's how much hair this man has. It's insane. But I don't know if we want to consider, that being nitpicky, but overall, I thought the game was okay. I got lucky. I only paid $26 out of straight up cash for it. So I'm not too upset about it. Or it was like 26 and some change or whatever
Mhm.
after doing a price match and um, doing some other stuff with Target Circle and whatnot. So for what I paid for it, I'm happy I paid for what I did. If I would have paid $60 for it, I would have been a little upset. So from a campaign standpoint, that's pretty much all you get. But you do get a online game mode, the Resident Evil Resistance, which is a 4v1. It's a 4v1 game mode, which somebody gets to be a mastermind, and there's four survivors, and you basically try to have to escape. I played a little bit of the beta. I find it better to play the mastermind than I do the survivors. It just seems easier.
Mhm. Okay.
So
That's
they're not any talks of adding anything more to the base game, but they did say that they're gonna um, plan to do more updates for um, the online version of the multiplayer, which I thought was pretty good. So overall, if I had to give it a rating system, I'd give it like 7.5.
okay. So not terrible, but they could have
Not
gave you a little bit more.
Yeah. For what Resident Evil 2 remake did, um, it definitely gets way more praise.
Okay. Very good.
And unfortunately, I will say this Resident Evil will not get Game of the Year nomination.
Probably will. Let's be honest.
So yeah. Um, all right. Next thing on the docket list we got is our Twitter questions that we do uh, every once in a while. So the first question we got was kind of I think it's something we talked about last podcast was aim assist.
Mhm.
So this one, the question was aim assist. Should it be taken out of all shooter games for consoles? Mainly talking about battle royales, multiplayer games that have team deathmatch, different games of that nature. We had a resounding amount of people say yes, they want to.
No,
I did not. I did not think it was going to be like that.
isn't it 20% yes and 80% no?
Oh, you know what? I think I have. I was looking at the second one. My bad. So yes, the majority of the people said no. They didn't want it in there. So, do you agree with not taking it out?
It's really hard. I would say no, cause like it depends. Like aim assist, there's aim assist to an extent. It's just how you abuse and use it. Like, cause like in Call of Duty, there's aim assist where like you can like kind of like tap your aim down look button or your aim down sights button and kind of like it magnetizes to the target. Like obviously there's people that abuse it like that, but personally I think it's fine. Just don't have it like put it at like 4 instead of like 12, and I think we're fine. Um, or my other thing is fix hitboxes so hitboxes aren't as bulky, and I think everyone will be just fine. Because I think that's another thing that people don't realize plays into the cards is how big hitboxes are on certain characters and how bullets actually hit you instead of just
Yep.
complete aim assist is the blame. Because literally every time you watch a streamer, you see a streamer on Twitter, any social media, as soon as you talk about a controller player, they just immediately say, "Oh, they're garbage because they have to rely on aim assist." It's just like
Yeah.
yes and no, because Call of Duty's usually was only on console, and then they just slowly started to go towards PC, just because a lot of the population has PC now, and like they see the success in PC players.
Yep.
Like, cause that's where most of these streamers play on. They don't play on console. They play on PC because like they can maintain their streams and their content just directly there. So it's just like why go to a console when you can just be straight on PC? So I think it should stay, or I think it should stay. So no, do not take it out. What are your thoughts, Sam?
So I mean, I play console. I don't really have too big issue with it. I mean, me personally, I need it because I.
You suck.
But so a funny thing that I found. So um, wanted to prove a point for using keyboard and mouse and controller in Fortnite, and in simple words, he basically said that using a controller for Fortnite um, makes the game feel like you're using an aimbot, which I don't know if that was taken out of context or anything, but um, here let me read the specific tweet here. So just played with a controller on PC. I have completed or competed in several games at a competitive level on both controller and mouse and keyboard. You cannot tell me that with 100% strength, aim assist, and linear settings, that using a controller is an aimbot. So, I mean, coming from a guy who has been playing Fortnite forever and is would you consider him still the best?
Who'd you say was? You cut out a little bit.
Oh, my bad. Ninja.
I wouldn't say he's the best. He is definitely top 3, I would say.
Okay.
Don't. I really don't keep up with the Fortnite pros anymore because
Yeah.
the people that I watched that played Fortnite, they stopped because they've grown.
Yep.
They enjoyed their time at Fortnite, and it has grown to other games that they enjoyed, and just obviously Fortnite will always be there for them. Blah blah. But I don't know. Yes, he
Yeah.
can probably make that claim, but again, like I know he was playing at a competitive level, but at the
Yeah.
same time, how much was he abusing that? Because if you sit there and like spam aim down sights on fucking controller on Fortnite, yes, you're gonna just magnet to the kid.
Yep.
Like, but if you play normally, which I feel like majority of people do, is when you like sit there and track people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, if you have a good thumb that's not gonna over pull or over push in either or direction, yeah, you're gonna hit a lot more of your shots. Same thing with
Yep.
mouse and keyboard. Like, if you're really good with steadying your shot and your sensitivity's not cranked and you can actually like follow the person, you're gonna hit 75 to probably almost 100% of your shots. But if you're
Yep.
sitting, like I've watched, I've watched Tfue, I've watched other streamers playing controller. They sit there and they abuse like the aim assist on controllers because they can just like spam it. So you just like can't like spam crouch too and just like
Yep.
have zero
Mm-hmm.
bloom and just beam kids.
Yep.
Like so, it's just I don't know.
Yeah. Let me clarify this too. That tweet was sent out 6 days ago.
Yeah, no.
So
He
it
is
was relatively recent. So
relatively
I think
recent.
what was the third? That was what? That was what, a Saturday, I think.
Something like that. It's just the
No,
whole
Friday. Sorry.
the whole community blows aim assist out of the water.
Yeah.
People need to chill. Like it's in the game. Just it's how people play with it. Like if you know, like this Fortnite I know has really really high aim assist. I know it does because
Mhm.
there's no way it doesn't.
Well, yeah. How do you
And
think I win? My games that I win, of course,
yeah, like
I get help.
how do you think I hit my shots in Fortnite? Like I don't know. That is the only game that sensitivity on a controller or even on mouse and keyboard has always struggled with me. Like I could not get
Yeah.
my sensitivity perfect where like I could actually like not overcorrect or over aim at somebody or build properly just because like when I try to like do my sense either it's too slow or it's too high and I want something in the middle so I'm not like cracked and overlooking somebody.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no.
man. Homie needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, I
Not a
don't
lot,
yeah,
just a little. Let me specify that. Just a little.
yeah, we're not looking for like immediately as soon as someone's in my vicinity of like crosshair and I aim down sight it magnets to him. No, I don't need that shit. That's basic aimbot right there.
Yeah.
But he does have some valid points. It does help, but at the same time, if you're a confident player on controller or a confident player on mouse and keyboard, it's just who has the better thought process. Like if you're going for Fortnite, whoever can outbuild, whoever can edit and peak shots, stuff like that. Same thing with Call of Duty. Whoever has the better rotations, the better just raw gun skill. I don't think aim assist is going to play that much of a factor. It does, but it doesn't. Like if you're good enough, aim assist is out the door. It's just raw gun skill.
Mm-hmm. No, true. All
Yeah.
right, yeah. Next question that we had was, should video games, so video games in general, go 100% digital? So meaning the full-fledged games.
another
We've had,
another.
tw- yeah, another blow out of the water. We had 25% say yes, 75% say no, which I agree with on one point. The only reason why I think they shouldn't do this is, how else are we going to be able to use and abuse GameStop? How else can we do that?
True.
I like to buy my games, and then
Sell 'em back for
I like
more.
to
Yeah,
yeah, I like to get a return on my investment.
I gotcha.
So that's me.
That's you.
That's
See,
me.
yes, I like digital. It's super convenient and nice. It's like, oh hey, let's play this game. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to go to Target, Walmart, Best Buy, wherever the game site, wherever the hell you buy your games, to go get it. Makes sense. But at the same time, like that I've known when PlayStation Xbox servers go down because of a-hole people hacking the system and making servers go
Yep.
down, all my digital games I couldn't play.
Yep. No, it's pretty much gone.
So
You're
like
out of
if
luck.
you have a whole library, let's say of 130 games that you can't play because some person or something is happening where you can't access your games, I would be pissed.
Yeah.
Like I know Xbox doesn't have the greatest selection of solo player games, but I know they do have some, and you can meme around on them.
They got more than enough, I would say,
Yeah,
right?
they got more than enough to satisfy the average
Yeah.
person. But like, I'm also on the side of I collect things. Like I'm looking to my left here, and I see all like my bookshelf of games. Like
Yep.
that's cool. To like look at like oh I have that cool, but like I like digital because it's convenient. So I'm 100% green with this. Like I agree. No, they shouldn't go 100% digital just because of that one stipulation of like, oh hey shit, the Xbox servers are down. I can't play my game. Looks like I have to download or I have to get a physical copy of this. Oh wait, nope, not anymore. So
Yeah, I just hope Microsoft doesn't do that dumb shit again where they try to sell an all digital fucking console again.
see, I've actually been selling a lot of those. Fun fact.
Really?
I've been selling a lot of them just because It's the stupid motherfuckers that are like, I only play Fortnite, and I'm like, ugh, just throw my head
Yeah.
against the wall. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and like they
Like you
only
don't need it. You don't fucking need it.
see the all digital console is perfect for someone who is like the spouse of somebody. Like I know someone from work. She bought the all digital Xbox because it was cheap. It was like $100 or $130 or something. I think like
Yeah.
at Walmart or Best Buy. So she bought it, and then her other half has a normal Xbox One, I think X, and he can like give her all his games that he has downloaded, like
Oh
via
yeah, yeah.
like you could share them.
The
So she had
console sharing.
yeah,
Yeah.
so she has all his games and they can play together. And she doesn't play that often, so it doesn't make so it's not like she's like losing money because she's like, oh, I had to
Mm-hmm.
constantly buy my own games. No, like you can console share, so like it makes sense to a point for
Yeah.
the right people. They're like
Well,
I would
I
say casuals. It would benefit more than anything.
yeah. I mean, I do that with my brother. Like we'll split games, or if there's a game we both want, we'll go half on it. Or if I just buy a random game, he has it. Then if he
Yeah,
wants to try it, he can.
yeah,
So I just wish it worked the other way. So like if he bought it, I can do that,
yeah.
which is fine. I mean,
Sometimes it
you
don't work
gotta
like that.
yeah, you gotta be able to control it, which fuck Microsoft, but whatever, whatever.
Alright. What's our next Twitter
Um,
question, sir?
the next Twitter question that we asked was around the time that they released the picture of the um, Sony controller. So the question was, um, what matters more to you when it comes to your controller, mouse, keyboard, whatever you choose to play your games with? Is it comfortability? Is it style? So like here, let me specify. So comfortability. So like how it fits in your hand.
Yep.
Do you struggle holding controllers in your hand because it's too big or too small? Stuff like that. Style, as in, do you like where buttons are placed? Do you like where certain um, grips are, stuff like that.
Mhm.
uh Textures. So textures is kind of weird. So um there's controllers right now on the market that seems like they feel more plasticky than anything, which is very off-putting.
Mhm.
um there's some that feel like what's the word I was going to use? It feels like a brand new car. It just feels so fresh, and you're like, I could use this controller. This controller could take some punishment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, and then the last one was buttons. So a lot of controllers, sometimes just the standard ones, will not have a lot of buttons. They'll just have just your standard um, console buttons. Or if you're using a keyboard and mouse, you have just M1, M2, and all your other peripherals that you'll use for extra buttons.
Yep.
So the what we got there, this was another blow out of the water. So 80% chose comfortability, 5% style, 5% texture, and 10% buttons. Me personally, I fall in the comfortability area. So, for example, I like to use the Xbox controller just because it feels more comfortable in my hand than the PlayStation controller, and plus I like where the analog sticks lay on the Xbox than I do on the PlayStation more. So that's just me. So that might be a that might be a combination of comfortability, and
Style.
I think we'll yeah, throw style in there. So whoa, how do you feel about that one, Billy?
Resounding. I agree with comfortability. Like the controller has to feel comfortable in my hands.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna play it for a long time or long periods of.
Texture, as long as it's not like slippery. That's me. Like, cause I have this scuff where it's like more of like a, I don't know what to call it, but like it grits my hands more. Like, so my hands, like when I grip, it stay there. They don't like, when my hands are sweating, they don't like fall off. Shit like that. Um, So I'm a big comfortability, obviously, and a little bit of texture. Like the controller can't be like shitty quality because I'm very, very aggressive on my controllers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my input, I would say. What else?
All right.
Anything
That's
else we
I mean
got
that
today?
no, pretty much I guess the last one we have we should got to talk to Wade about it. Get back to doing our games of the month for each other. So
Yeah.
I think taking a small break was probably a good call.
Well, yeah, because of
Um,
what's going on in the world right now.
yeah,
And Wade, I don't know where he resides and all that. So
yeah, we like to be careful of one another. So I think we'll talk about it more, but we will probably give you more details on that. Maybe next podcast or the following podcast if we're going to do that again.
for sure.
But that would be the general plan for that. But other than that, I got nothing.
Coolio.
Oh, I almost forgot. Never mind. Take that back. There will be a Final Fantasy VII review next podcast.
Ooh, look at you, big guy.
So yeah, so be ready for that. So
Are you gonna bust that out in 7 hours too and trash it? Let's go.
I've been hearing that there's going to be over 10 hours, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. So all I know is it's going to be more, more than Resident Evil.
Well, that is great to hear.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty pumped for it. So, yeah, make sure you guys check out our website. We got that up on our Wix website. We also have the platforms that we're still using: Spotify, YouTube, Buzz, Sprout, and the recent one we just got to was Podbean. So you can check us out there. They all have mobile apps that you can use, so you don't have to always be on the desktop. You can use the mobile version of it. Other than that, that's all I got. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and listening.